live. I forget. I always forget how to get to my video. Here we go. Hello, everybody. All right, so we're going to do some watercoloring, and that's going to be fun, of course. But let me do a couple things at the beginning of this video. So it is the beginning of April. It is April 1st. Happy April Fool's Day. I thought this morning I would tell my kids. I didn't because I thought it would be too mean, but I was going to say like, oh, there's no school today, and then be like, April Fools. But I guess that's probably really mean. Let me move my stand closer, and then I'm also going to lower it, and I'm sorry that it's like a little bit shaky when I do this. The other day, I was live, and my stand fell right on me. All the punches tumbled over, like everything. It just went kaput. Okay, so it is April, and I have a new creative calendar out for you guys. This has information for the month. I'm in pre-order for the new catalog, which I have right here. I'm going to show you guys the cover of it. So right here is the brand new catalog. I'm very excited. I have a date with it tonight. As soon as I get done here, I'm going to be done working in my office for the day, and I'm going to go sit with my new catalog and a highlighter and a notebook, which is always fun. So I'm in pre-order, and then, hey, Dawn, new catalogs will be going out. I just ordered all of my catalogs today. So as soon as I get them from Stampin' Up, they will start going out. If you're a part of Blessed to Craft, then your new catalog will be with you in your package for your Blessed to Craft this month. So that is really fun. And Blessed to Craft will go live tomorrow. So my online class will go live tomorrow, and it is beautiful this month. One of my favorite I've done. So make sure you come back tomorrow, and I'll have details for that. So my creative calendar came out. Catalogs go out this month. And then here is the host code. It goes from the 1st to the 25th. If you placed an order on last month's host code, I've also ordered all of the stamp sets, and card kits have already been cut, and everything is ready. I'm just waiting on those stamp sets. So as soon as I get those, I will get them out to everybody who ordered last month. You should have already received an email from me letting you know this. If you have not, then contact me. Okay, so we have our creative calendar. I will put that in the YouTube description when I'm done here, and you can print this out. And then this video here that we're going to do, I'm going to share with you what my ordering special is for this month. And this month, if you spend $50 or more with me, so you place a Stampin' Up order, you use the host code, you spend $50 more, it has to be $50 before shipping and tax, you will get this whole set of watercolor pencils along with this card kit here to make these 3 cards. Okay, so you'll be able to make these cards. You'll get these watercolor pencils, and then we're going to make a 4th card today. I'm going to do some watercoloring with you. I have some of it already ready for you, and then we're going to do the rest of it on camera. But that is the ordering special for this month. So place an order with me this month, and I will send you these items, the card kit and then the watercolor pencils. And these are the ones that we're going to use. This is the watercolor pencil set 2. The only one that is different is this one is crushed curry in the set. And I think I've lost mine. I tried to find my crushed curry pencil, but I couldn't. So I just pulled out a yellow that was close to it. But in the set that you get a brand new set. And in that you will have the crushed curry. So you get garden green, you get Cajun craze, coastal cabana, granny apple green, cherry cobbler red, balmy blue, which is a lighter blue than what is on here. I know this looks like Pacific Point, but it is balmy blue, and it colors a little bit lighter. Then you get the crushed curry one, flirty flamingo, gorgeous grape, and Night of Navy are the color pencils you will get. And these are watercolor pencils. So the other item that we are going to use is going to be our Stella. Okay, so if you already have the watercolor pencils and you're like, oh, bummer, I totally can't order from you and get anything fun because I don't want a duplicate set of watercolor pencils, let me know and I will include instead a Stella, because I know if you already have these, then that doesn't seem very fun, right? But if you do and you want to get the card kit, and these will come with a colored PDF, an exclusive video showing you how to put all these together and do all of this watercoloring plus envelopes, and you still want to get the mini class and then you already have these, let me know and I will send you a Stella instead. Okay. So that's what we're going to use, and I will show these cards at the end again. Hey, Elizabeth. But right now what we're going to do is we're going to do some watercoloring for a card. So what I've done here, let me just show you what I've done. I've taken an 8.5 by 11 piece of Whisper White, not Whisper White. Nope, that's wrong. Basic White is what we used. Basic White cardstock. I've cut that at 4 1/4. And then I have folded it at 5 1/2. So I cut it right in half, then I folded it in half, which is at 5 1/2, right? And it gives you a normal card, right? So far, so good. And then what I did is I just folded this piece back. I don't score this because I feel like when I score it, it tends to be off a tiny bit. Hey, Kathy. It tends to be off a tiny bit. So instead what I do is I just take the card base that I'm working with and I fold it back and I line it up and then I crease it with my bone folder. Okay. So that is our card base that we're going to use. I have a 4" by a 5 1/4" piece of Flirty Flamingo. Oh, the other thing that you get this month is, oh, let me grab it. This is important. The other thing you get when you're ordering this month is a pack of this paper. This is a 1/4 pack of the designer paper that was in Celebrations. So you'll get this paper, some of this paper. You will get the whole set of watercolor pencils. Or if you already have the watercolor pencils, you can opt to get a Stella. And then you will get the 3 card kits to make these 3 cards. You get all the pieces, all the layers, and then a pre-recorded video and a colorful PDF. So that's the other important part. So that's the paper I'm using. Obviously, this is retired paper, and I had several packs of it, and so that is what you're getting and you're ordering special. Okay, so we have the Flirty Flamingo, which is just a 1/4" off. It's 4 by 5 1/4, and then the designer paper piece, which is this one right here, so beautiful, is 5 inches by 3 3/4, so that it will make a nice layer. Then this piece is a crushed curry piece, and it is 2 1/2 by 4, and it goes in this panel, and this is where you're going to write your sentiment. So you could totally put another piece of cardstock in here, but I wanted to do something a little bit different. And what you can do now is you'll write your message here, because when your card is closed, of course, the message won't show. And then on the outside here, we have a Coastal Cabana piece, and it is 2 1/2 by 4 inches. And then the pattern piece is 3 3/4 by 2 1/4 to get that layer. And isn't that just beautiful? I thought it was so pretty for spring. Okay, so if you have any questions about the measurements, they will be on my blog post. So as soon as I'm done here, I'll snap a photo of this card. I will put it on my website, and I will have all the measurements for this card on my website, and then in case you missed it, okay? So right now what I want to do is cut this Flirty Flamingo piece. And what I want to do is find out what this piece is, because, so this is 4 inches, and then I want it to be 3 inches, which that's perfect. I just happen to have this scrap sitting here, and I thought, oh, I wonder if that will work. So then for my Flirty Flamingo piece, we're going to cut it at 4 1/4. And I'm going to do it this way so that I have, this piece can be a card base because I don't want to waste cardstock. And then, so we have 4 1/4, and then I want 3 1/4. And then we'll move this aside. And I desperately need to change my blade. I keep forgetting to do so. So I'm just going to take my nail file and just run it on the edge. Like that. That's just going to get off all of that, like the, what are they called? Like the icky part, like when your blade isn't, when your blade isn't sharp. Okay, and that has a little bit, and you can do the same thing. And that just cleans up that edge. I tend to wait until like the last possible minute to change my blades. So this is gonna layer here like so. And I need a little, where is my X-Acto knife? I needed a little help picking that up because I want to show you. This is going to go like this. It's going to be this really fun fold kind of card. I'm obsessed with making this shape of a card lately. Okay, so that's what it's going to be, but we have to do all of our stamping first. So I'm going to use this stamp here. So the stamp set I'm using for these cards, and you will need this stamp set if you want to complete the cards the way I have them. And again, at the end, I'll show you the cards. But I'm using this one. It's In the Moment. It's from Stampin' Up. And this stamp set is carrying over. So that's why I picked it. It's not a stamp set that is going to retire and you might not be able to get. So that's why I picked it. So what I want to do is I want to use this right here. And I want to stamp it. And then we're going to put the sentiment up in the corner, I think. So when you are using watercoloring, you are going to want to use StazOn ink. And I wanted to use these pencils because that's the ordering special, right? So I want you to know how to use these. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this right in front of me just so I can stamp it pretty straight, which I know that's off camera, but just hang tight with me. But we'll do all the coloring. I'll be in frame to do that. So hopefully this is straight. I'm not the best at coloring. You guys know it's not my favorite, but watercoloring can really, it can be pretty forgiving. Okay, so then what I want to do is use this sentiment. I should have got that down a little bit farther, but okay, so I'm going to go ahead and stamp that in. I'm going to do it in crushed curry. And again, I'm going to get pretty close to me so that I can get this on here straight. And my sticker is on crooked, okay? I don't know if you can see that, but my sticker is definitely crooked. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to line up this part of the stamp set, the actual red rubber. I'm going to line that up with the top of the card, and hopefully that's going to help me get that nice and straight. And I'm going to try to do this on camera. I'm going to stand up and lean over and see if I can do this. Sort of hard to see. Okay, let's pray this is straight. And it's not. Okay, let's flip it over. And let's stamp the sentiment first and then the girl. So it looks like I was off a little bit. I need to tilt it this way a little. I don't think that's straight. Oh, it's straighter. Okay, I'm going to do it again. I have another piece of white right here. So this was 3x4. Let's try it. Just try it one more time. I mean, it's always good to practice stamp anyways. Let's see if I can do it. So we have this here. And then I'm going to try to get right over it and see if that helps. And that did the trick. It's just hard to do it right over my phone. Okay, so then we need the girl again. So we'll do this in Stays On. Does anybody else love the smell of Stays On? I really do. That and photopolymer stamps. This will help us get the girl kind of nestled in that corner a little bit more, which is what I wanted. Okay, so that's way better. Thanks, Dawn, for sharing. Okay, so now let's color this. So we're going to bring our watercolor pencils back over, and I'm just going to use these colors because that's what you guys will get when you place an order this month. So I want you guys to see these colors in use. So again, these are watercolor pencils, so that are going to be great to use water with, right? And I'm going to color this the same way I colored my other card. And what I'm going to do is, this is what I find the easiest for me, is, oh, the smell of DSP. Yeah, that's a good one too, Kathy. There's just something about it, right? When I open up a Stays On ink pad, I just have to like smell it, or a photopolymer stamp set. I just have to like take it in. So because I'm not great at coloring, what I like to do first is a couple things you can do. You can look online to see how other people have colored this in case you're nervous. Now, I was when I first started to color this gal because I wasn't sure where all the edges were. So I did look, and you can do that. And what I like to do with these watercolor pencils is I'm putting a lot of pressure here. And you see that I'm just outlining, like, where does this little blanket that she's wrapped up in, where is it? Okay, and I'm not being like too terribly precise, but in these spaces where like the folds are going to be, or the edges are going to be, I'm going to give it like some dark pieces, okay? Then I'm going to go back in and I'm lightly going to color. I'm not going to go all the way to the edges. And you look at this and you think, that looks real messy, right? Like, ooh, that's not good. But it's okay. It's going to get better. So I think also right here is part of the blanket. And then that's the dog's leg. So I think we're good. Okay, so that's going to be that color. So the next color I'm going to use is the pink. Wonder what book she's reading. Kathy says she has the new Stampin' Up catalog. That's what she's looking at. I should stamp Stampin' Up on there. I could totally do that. I have I'll show you guys a brand new stamp set. I signed up for On Tour, which is a Stampin' Up event. And none of these are small enough. This would be so cute if it was mini. I could stamp it right on that. This is the stamp set I got. It's a brand new one coming out in the annual catalog. And I plan on cutting off, like right here, I plan on cutting Stampin' Up off of that. And then same with this one. I plan on cutting it off so that I can just use these as images. So again, I'm going to do the same thing. This is like the bed she's sitting on, right? So on the edge there, on the edge, and I'm pressing very hard. It's very, very saturated, right? and right under where her socks are. Okay, and then I'm going to come in and I'm lightly going to give it some color. You could give it more color if you wanted, but when you see the technique that I'm doing, I think you'll get it. And then we'll do that. Okay, and then I also want this, like these pillows back here. I want them pink too. And that's just because I have pink in my card base. And then there's pink in the paper. And then this pink and Coastal Cabana go really, really well together. Okay, so there's that. So then we're going to take the Balmy Blue, which I know this looks like it's darker, but it's not. So you're going to be surprised when you start applying this. It's a little bit lighter. So again, very concentrated. I'm going to do it like she's in jeans. Now I'm going to get in leggings and I'm going to sit on the couch under a blanket and I'm going to enjoy this new catalog. I wouldn't be in jeans if it was me, but that's just me. Okay, and then I am going to make all the coloring. I'm going to go up and down on this part because these are the jeans, right? So if you notice, I've gone in a couple different directions. On the blanket, I went all in this direction. On the jeans, I'm going to go all in this direction. Now, it's not going to totally matter a ton. I think let's do her socks in this green and this granny apple green. Just because that's a fun color. You can't really see what shirt she's wearing, but if she was wearing a shirt, I would probably do it in granny apple green. And then again, I'm just getting some concentrated color in some spaces, and then I'm going to lightly add color to the rest. Right? And then for the cup, I'm going to do it in this purple. And I had a little something on my, that's better. So we'll get a little concentrated color. And then a light wash. Okay, now for the book, let's do the book in the yellow, which again, yours will be crushed curry because that's what comes in the set. I'm not positive what color this is, but I know it's not crushed curry. It's too orange. I almost think it's, if any of you have been with Stampin' Up! A while, do you guys remember More Mustard? One of my favorite yellows. And this also has a bit of an orange tint. So maybe it's an orange, but yours will be crushed curry. So I would do the book in yellow. We're just working with what I have. And then this is Cajun Craze, and that's what I'm going to do the hair in. And it's also what I'm going to do the dog in. And I think that'll be fine. It'll be like this brownish, reddish color. Okay, so then I did some dark spots there. And then I did some light spots, right? Okay, and then with the dog, the same thing. Now, the dog is the least thing that I love coloring because he's so detailed. So for the dog, I'm really just going to do a lot of light coloring. We'll give him a couple dark spots just for some contrast. But I'm really, really going to take it really easy on this dog because... And then I'm going to leave this part of his face white, again, just for some contrast. And then I'm not going to color her skin, her face right there and her hands. I'm not going to worry about that. And so you could leave it like this. There's nothing wrong with this. This is beautiful. But then what you're going to want to do is if you take your Wink of Stella and you're going to want a scratch paper and you're going to want to make sure that it's not too runny on your project. So you can squeeze a little bit and make sure it's nice and wet, but make sure it's not really sopping, you know, dripping. I feel like it needs a little. There we go. Yeah, I can tell better if I put it on my skin. So now I'm going to start at the bottom. And I'm going to come in where the darkest area is. And this is like blending it out, right? It's going to soften all of those edges. That's why I put a lot of color in these spots, because I knew I was going to blend it out. And that color isn't going to go terribly far. It's not like it's going to be like you're painting. But the other thing that you can do is take your pencil and your Stella right to the edge and do that. So then we're going to come up here to the pillow. And again, there's a lot of concentrated color. And I like to work in like small little circles. And it just flattens everything out nice. It really smooths it out. So then when you're done with the color, you're just going to wipe it off. You could do this with a blending brush too, like a blender pen. So then let's do the blue. And the blue, you're really going to see how it smooths it out. And again, I'm going to come in where I put a lot of that color and blend it from that space. Oh, and that gives you a little bit more color in those areas. See how beautiful that is? And then you can see you just wipe it off. So just wipe it off until the color is gone, and then move to your next color. So we'll do this little bit of purple right here. And I'm going back and forth, and see how that gave me a little bit of shading. And then we'll come in with the blue. And this one I'm going to be a little bit more careful because there's some spots that are like right up next to the dog. And I want to be careful, but it's going to smooth that out. And you can see that you get a little bit of dimension by adding the really dark parts to the edge. You get some shading. I think it's a really easy way to get some shading. And like I said, if you have a space, I feel like this is a little weird right there. Like where I did my shading. Just come in and add a little bit of color. Okay, and then let's do the dog next. I'm trying to work my way from top to bottom so my hand isn't sitting. You could work top to bottom if you wanted. Oops, and see, that's not his leg. That's not part of the dog, but nobody's gonna know. It's gonna be fine. So do this. And like I said, I'm gonna leave part of his face white. Okay, and then same with her hair. Now I did some dark pieces and some light, so she'll have a little bit of a variation. Okay. And then the last piece is the book. And I'm going to get that on the edges. That's going to make it lighter. Right, like up here with the pages, I didn't put any color on there on purpose. So I'm going to come in and color in that book. Then I'm going to bring that color to the pages, and it's going to make it lighter. Like so. Isn't that beautiful? And then you get a little bit of shimmer too. Now you don't get a ton with the Stella. I'm hoping you guys can see this, the shine. I have to wait. Yeah, a little bit. I mean, it's so beautiful. Okay, so now we'll bring our card back over. And we're going to put this right on the Flirty Flamingo. So for this, I'm just going to use my seal. And remember, the white piece was 3 by 4. And then the Flirty Flamingo mat is 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. I cannot pick it up with my nails. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna bring this over and I'm gonna put a lot of adhesive here on the edge. And that is a lot of adhesive for sure. We're going to put that so that there's an even border on here. That's how I got my placement. Okay, so then my card opens like this, and then your message can go here, right? But I think we need more, right? We always need more. So I'm going to bring my mini over here. And I have these dies. Now these dies are retiring, and you may just continue to see me use them because I love them. So these are the In Bloom floral pieces. And what we're going to do, again, I cannot pick up cardstock right now. Okay. So I'm going to use these 2 flowers. And the first flower we're going to cut, maybe we'll do 3, I don't know, 3 might be a lot. I might be getting carried away. Okay, so let's run this through. Okay. And mine, you can see, stuck right to my plate. So I'll just use my X-Acto knife and it'll pop right off. I just don't want to cut myself. I want to be careful. So it just pops right off. Okay. So the next one we're going to do is we want a Coastal Cabana flower. And I just love my mini machine. It makes it so easy. I mean, I love both of mine. But I love the mini because it's just right here on my desk, right? Okay. All right. So we have that one. And let's do one more. I don't know if I'll use all 3, but let's cut one more. And let's do one that's different. Let's use this one. So let's do a little tiny yellow one. I mean, who knows? Gotta get that right in there. Get everything to catch. Oops. My die keeps shifting. There we go. Okay. All right, now let's move this aside. And we have our 3 flowers. Okay. So let's pop these. Again, I'm having a hard time picking this stuff up. So we'll pop this one out. How pretty is that? Then we'll pop that one out. And then let's pop this one out. I need, as my husband calls it, the pokey thing. When he's helping me die cut, he'll say, I need the little pokey thing. Okay. So the other thing that we're going to do is, of course, we're going to add a little bit of detail to our flowers, right? So these are pierced, so they look stitched. So right by all of the stitching, I'm gonna add a little Coastal Cabana pencil. Right? And then we're gonna bring the Wink of Stella in. Oops, I missed a petal. And you can see I'm not being all that careful. I'll get that cleaned off. And then it's going to work the same way on colored cardstock. So we'll soften the color we added, and then we're also adding some sparkle to this flower. Okay, so, and then same here, this is Flirty Flamingo, so we'll take Flirty Flamingo. This one, I don't think is going to show up as much. It's going to give it a little bit of color, but not a lot. The Wink of Stella itself will make the cardstock darker because you're getting it a little bit wet. Okay. And then same thing with the yellow, which, where did my yellow one go? Uh-oh. So there's the yellow, there's the dye, but where did the actual flower go? Are you guys seeing it and I'm just not? Where did the yellow one go? Well, oh, right here. Okay. So, and this one, I'm just going to color right on those dots. See that? And then bring my Wink of Stella in. Go all the way to the edge and give it just a little bit of color. You could, there's lots of different things you can use your watercolor pencils for. And I don't utilize mine as much as I should. Okay, so we have the flowers, right? So we're gonna bring our card back over. And what I'm thinking is putting a little cluster. What if we do the larger one hanging off there? And then this one here. And then I'm glad I did 3 because I think 3 is gonna be perfect. So let's just start adding these. And let's do this one flat and then we'll pop a couple up. So right here. Okay. And then let's pop this one up. I'm going to use a couple dimensionals. I think I can get 2 on here if you just smush them. That's one thing I like about the Stampin' Up! Dimensionals, because they're in the shape of a hexagon. You can really manipulate them well. Okay. And then let's add the yellow one, and that should probably take 1 dimensional. I feel like this needs to be moved. Can I move it? If I try gently, I think I can. Well, I probably should have left it. Oh, well. Okay, so that's how that's going to go on there. And then I do have some embellishments. So these embellishments here, I really like these white ones for the middle. Like so. And look at how pretty that is. How cute. And then you open it up. I just love that. I really love it. So the measurements will be on my website for this one in case you want to make it. I think I got it pretty straight. I think this might be a little tiny bit crooked. But let me show you the other 3 cards. So these are the ones that will be in the card kit. So if you want this card kit and you want the watercolor pencils, then all you need to do is place an order with me this month, and you'll get the watercolor pencils for free, and then you'll get the card kits for these cards right here. Let me see if I can get all these on frame for you guys. Move all the other stuff. I just love these pencils. I really should watercolor more, right? And then these dies are fun. I'm sad to see these dies going, but you guys know me. If I love it, then I'm going to keep using it. And these are probably ones I'll keep using. So there's these cards. Remember, if you already have watercolor pencils and you don't need those, I will swap Wink Stella out for those. So you just have to email me, say I placed an order. I can't wait to get the card kit, you know, but I don't need the pencils. Can I get a Wink Stella instead? And I will be happy to send that to you. Renee said she's keeping the dies too. Yeah, I can't imagine not keeping these. They're so cute. I really do love them. So I loved making these cards. They were a lot of fun. And like I said, I'll get a photo of this one up on my website as soon as we're done here. So I hope you guys are having a great Friday. I am feeling pretty on point today. I've worked all day here in the office, and it's a good start to April. Esau got his first paycheck today for his new job that he's been at. I know a lot of you guys have been following the Martinez house saga that has been happening. A really scary thing happened yesterday. Kayla's school went on lockdown. If you guys know Wendy Cranford, some of you guys will follow her. Some of you guys might be on her team. Her and I live close together. We live like a block away, and we've been friends for 30 years. Our daughters go to a charter school in another county, and we carpool together. So in the mornings, I take the girls to school on Tuesdays and Thursdays. They go 2 days a week. And then on Tuesdays and Thursdays, she picks them up because I have Andrew and Violet to pick up. And yesterday, right as I came in the house from picking up the two little ones, she was calling me, and I thought it was kind of weird. You know, she usually doesn't call me, and I thought, well, maybe they're going to Starbucks or something, and she's just wanting to let me know. And the first thing out of her mouth was, I have the girls. And I was like, oh, okay, like good for you. Okay. And she's like, no, just FYI, I have the girls. I just pulled off campus, and the police and ambulances were flying onto campus. And we got a text that the school is in lockdown because there was an active shooter. And even just saying it, it makes me emotional. But thank God she had, they were already off campus, and she said, we're going to stop at a Starbucks and just have a minute, but I probably won't be able to get home like the normal way. I'm going to have to go the long way because of the situation. And sure enough, about 5 minutes after I hung up with her, I got a notice that the school was in lockdown. And so that was very scary. Nothing like that has ever happened to us. We live in a really small community. Even our community, even the county that's right next to us where the girls go to school is really small. And it was just very scary. So that happened yesterday. Thankfully, she doesn't go to school on Fridays. If she did, I would have probably kept her home. But she only goes to school 2 days a week, and then she's home the other 3 days. And so that happened yesterday, and which was eventful. And then today, April 1st, Esau got his very first paycheck. He's been at work for 3 weeks. He's totally off training, and he is fully at his new job. And so that's really exciting. So just thank you guys for all your prayers and just your good thoughts and the emails you've sent and the messages you have sent as he was laid off at the beginning of February. And we've been in a lot of transition this last month, the last 2 months actually. So we're so excited. It feels like we're feeling like we're getting back to normal. Yes, I was so glad that Wendy called. That's why she did, because she said, I know you're going to get a text. And they were even in lockdown. I've never been through that kind of situation, but even if you were in your car and you were on campus, you had to stay locked in your car. And so obviously if she had still been, luckily she was like right at the front of the pickup line, and the girls were out of class really quickly, and she said she literally passed police and ambulances like flying onto campus. And so I was so thankful that she called and said, hey, like I have the kids. And because I was scared for her to even be down there in that area. Like I was like nervous for her to even be, even though I knew the Starbucks is fairly far away from the school, obviously, I was still just scared for her to be down, for them to be down there, you know. But yeah, thankfully she called and said, hey, I have the kids. And I was just so, and nobody was hurt. They got, everything was fine. They were in lockdown for about 2 hours, and there were no, and you know, nobody got hurt. So, you know, thank God for that. So yeah, it was been a little bit of an eventful week. But I will be back next week on Tuesday and Friday of next week with projects. This month, we are going to be talking all about designer paper, because I am cleaning out all of my paper from the annual catalog that is retiring. And so I'm cleaning out all of that paper, and I thought it would be so fun for you guys to see. I'm going to share a video tomorrow of how I pull my stamps when they're retiring, and then also how I clean out my paper. I made a small update to the my craft room here, and I'm going to share that tomorrow. And then starting next week, we're going to dive into pattern paper and how to use pattern paper, and how to use scraps of pattern paper on projects. And I thought that that would be really fun. So thank you guys for hanging out with me today. I hope you have a wonderful Friday night and a great weekend. And I will catch you guys next week with new projects and lots of fun things. So let me get you guys right out of the stand, and then I will go ahead and end the video. Thank you guys, and I'll chat with you next week.